Hello, friends and clients of Walker Gates Vela. I'm Jennifer Walker Gates, immigration attorney in Austin, Texas. And I'm here today to introduce one of my favorite people and one of many of your favorite people, Ivon Hinojosa. Hi, Ivon.
Hello.
Ivon is one of our case managers. She's our senior case manager. She's been with us longer than any other case manager in the office. And I'm thrilled to introduce her to all of you and talk a little bit about her, where she's from and her background, so that any of you who may be working with her will get to know her just a little bit better. So Ivon, start with the beginning. Where are you from?
I am from Mexico City.
Ah, is that where you were born?
Yes.
El DF?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Una fresa?
No.
Una
I
chilanga?
don't think so. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And so when did you come to the United States?
We came in 1992. I was 7.
Wow. And so did you come with your whole family, or did part of your family come first and then y'all came?
I came with my mom. My dad was already here.
Okay. And so you were 7 years old at the time, like first grade, second grade, something like that?
Second grade.
Second grade. Did you speak any English yet when you got here?
None at all.
None? That's so cool. And so I'm sure that was hard.
I don't remember it being hard.
Really?
But I think I always had bilingual teachers. Like the teacher always spoke English and Spanish, so I don't feel like I struggled in elementary.
That's cool. And so did y'all live in Austin immediately? Have you always lived here since you got to the States?
Yes, we've always lived in Austin.
And did y'all come here because you already had some family here?
Yes, my mom had some family already here, so we kind of followed them.
Got it. And so where did you end up going to school?
We went to, it's in South Austin. It's called Pleasant Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I always stayed within that area.
And what about high school?
It was Crockett High School.
Okay, yeah. And so then once you graduated high school, did you go on to study in college?
Yes, I did a few classes at ACC, and I transferred for my last 2 years to Texas State.
In San Marcos?
Yes, in San Marcos.
And how did you like that?
I did a lot of, what is it called, commuting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really stay there or anything like that. So I wasn't really involved in the school or any of the activities because I was always trying to haul back to get to work.
Oh, where were you working?
I was working at Torchy's Tacos.
Oh, okay. And did you work there all through college?
Through my 2 years of Texas State, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what did you major in?
In business.
Okay, like business administration?
Yes.
And were you planning to go into immigration law at that point?
Never.
How did you end up in this field?
It was an ad. And I was like, that sounds interesting. I'm just going to give my information and see what happens.
And was that the ad that we had placed when we were downtown?
You had placed an ad in downtown, and I think you responded back to me within 2 days. And I was like, holy moly, she's serious.
Well, I know when you first started with us, you were at the front desk. So you were handling, that's the most kind of businessy part of the whole business, basically. Yeah. Like you know the whole operation from top to bottom at this point.
Almost, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so how long were you doing that kind of stuff until you started working on cases?
I think it was just a few months before we started working on the DACAs.
That's right. Yes, that's right. DACAs happened right around the same time you joined us, I remember.
There was a high demand, so needed a couple more people on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so what kind of cases have you worked on since you've started doing this?
I have dabbled in asylum cases and removal cases, residency by now, like of all sorts of types, U visas, T visas, DACAs, TPS, APs, I-90s.
Yeah. So yeah, you have experience with almost every type of case that we handle. And for a while, you were also working with Cheeto on the criminal defense side.
Oh yes, a bit of criminal. I forgot the Sapser cases, the
That's right.
VAWA.
Yeah. Like a big, broad range of experience.
Yeah.
And so now you are focusing on primarily U visas, T visas, and VAWAs. So primarily focused on immigration benefits for survivors of crime and domestic violence. How do you like that type of work?
Sometimes it's satisfying because, people get justice, but then sometimes just the stories that come, like the background stories of it, can get a little sad.
They're very hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're having such an impact, a huge impact on the lives of people that you help. So thank you for your courageous commitment to helping people. What do you think, if you had like to pick one case that you remember the most, do you have one?
I have a few, but I think the one that I probably was like the most happy about winning was a T visa,
Mm,
probably because I had never done one and because the story behind it was really, really sad. So
yeah.
actually just getting the T visa was like really cool. And we still haven't even done residency.
So for people who are watching who don't know, can you explain what a T visa is and what it's for?
Yeah, so the T visa is going to be for victims of human trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
anybody who's ever been a victim. And if they help, and sometimes, not always, if they help the police officers or the law enforcement, they are eligible for a T status, which will grant them temporary status in the US.
Yeah. And human trafficking can be anything from like forced labor, where people are forced to work without pay, or people are forced to perform sexual acts either in actual prostitution where they actually do get paid or don't get paid, but if they're forced to do it against their will, that can constitute human trafficking as well. Um, and so, yeah, those cases, they're so important for so many reasons, and not very common
Yeah, not at
that
all.
we get. I mean, they just don't come. I think it's much more common out in the world than what we end up seeing, in our office and in other professional environments that help victims of trafficking, because
For sure.
so many victims either don't know that they're victims of actual trafficking. They just think that they were maybe raped or had, kidnapped or had a terrible experience when they were smuggled into the United States. But many of those, many of those cases do actually rise to the level of human trafficking that can warrant a visa. So for anyone who's watching who may have had that type of experience, we would be happy to visit with you about whether you could potentially qualify. Um, so wonderful, Ivon. What do you have? What do you hope to do long term in your career? What are your ultimate career goals for yourself?
Ooh, I haven't thought of those just yet. There's always too much work to think about the future.
Oh, you're just gonna keep doing it, keep helping the community, and winning cases and kicking ass.
Yeah, for the meantime, yes.
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad that you're doing that with us. We're so glad to have you. We're very lucky that you answered that ad that we put on Craigslist. That's still one of the best moves we ever made. So thank you for being here and for sharing with us about yourself today.
You're welcome.
And for those of you watching, if you have a question about a T visa, a U visa, VAWA case, or any other immigration matter that we can help with, please reach out to us at walkergatesvela.com. You can go there to find our phone number. You can click to schedule an appointment with us directly on our calendar, or find our email address and email us through our contact form. We look forward to helping you. And again, thanks, Ivon, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.